What is up, everyone? I hope you all are doing well today. In today's storage unit video, we will be going through this unit that I purchased for $80. I couldn't believe that this one went for so cheap, and it didn't hurt that this one was so close to my house. I am super excited for this storage unit, so let's go ahead and get straight into this one. All right, let's take y'all inside the unit a little bit. One of the main reasons I purchased this storage unit, because there were golf clubs listed in the description. I couldn't see them in the listing picture, so I didn't exactly know what I was gonna get, but it does look like we have a complete set of Wilson 1200 LT irons in here, and then a Odyssey white steel putter, and the bag actually is in pretty good shape as well. I'm assuming I should be able to make anywhere from like $30 to $50 for this set of golf clubs. And then we have a car jack right here. Should be able to get $5 to $10 for that. And then we have a nice easy start Honda push mower. I need to look these up, but I think these go from anywhere from like $500 to $750 new. So maybe I can get $100 or $200 for that used. In some spots, it does look kind of rusted, so I do want to make sure that starts. But if it does start, I should be able to make like $100 to $200 for that. We have a very full plastic gas canister right here, but I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to have this in here. Then we have a very lightly used wheelchair right there. It's actually in great shape. It's just a little dusty, so we'll get it cleaned off and should be able to make $20 to $25 for that, I would assume. And I am assuming both of these will go to one of the main reasons I purchased this unit. Bummer. I did not see this in the listing picture. This front handle on this char griller is broken. The other one looks like it's in decent shape, but brand new. I think these are like $300 to $400 grills. But if everything else looks good on it, I'm assuming I should be able to make like $75 to $100 on Facebook Marketplace on this grill. And then as you can see, we got a bunch of boxes back there to go through, some on top of there. Got some sort of chandelier piece right there. For a split second, I got super excited. I thought we had some money down there, but it looks like maybe like a binder or a box with $100 bills printed on the outside. That would have been all time if that would have been real money. Let me step back outside to show y'all what else is in the very front of this unit. And we've got this full shelf full of boxes and other things to go through. And one of the really cool things that I don't think was in the listing picture was this vintage side table. Kind of an interesting looking Chinese art deco piece that may be worth hundreds of dollars, or it could be worthless. I will have to look that up after I get done filming. But overall, I am super excited for this unit. Let's start digging through some of these boxes. All right, so this first box is labeled movies. Got a heavy duty heart flashlight. There's no battery in it, but it's actually a pretty cool looking flashlight right there. Got a nice handle on it. Gazelle, the battery operated fan, a knife clip for your pants. These are always nice and resellable. All-in-one screwdriver set right there. These usually get about $10. This is kind of weird. Some sort of audio equipment right here. It's kind of cool looking. That's pretty much it for that box. All right, this one has wheel hubs listed on it. I don't know if there's any wheel hubs in here, but oh, gross. It's amazing how many people have hair extensions in here. It's a driver head cover right there. This is a vape charger. Kids don't smoke. Look up popcorn lungs after vaping. That stuff is no good. Here's a nice brand new Steve Madden belt with a $40 price tag on it. I should be able to get like $5 to $10 for this. This is a 34-36. Your boy put on some sympathy pounds with our last kid, so I'm trying to get the weight back down so I can fit back into my 34s. So wish me luck. I'm not even gonna try it on camera right now. I need all the positive momentum I can get for this weight loss journey. So we'll go ahead and sell this Steve Madden belt. But really, there was nothing else in this container. All right, let's see what's in this container. Unfortunately, just some old fake logs in here. We kind of struck out on those first few containers, but we have a ton of boxes and containers still to go through, so I have not lost any hope yet. We'll go through all these boxes here on this shelf in a minute, but I did want to show off all this loose stuff on here real quick. We have a wireless keyboard right here. Usually these don't sell very well, but maybe I can get like $5 to $10 for it. Another thing that doesn't resell very well are purses, unless it's super, super high end like Louis Vuitton or Hermes or even a Birkin bag. Those obviously still sell really well, but kind of the lower end to mid-tier options and purses, the resale market is not very good for it. So this is a little paint set in here. That's too bad. This kind of looks like the Nintendo Switch cases, but just a paint set. Electronic dartboard. If it works, it's a pretty cool thing to have. If it doesn't though, it's still a dartboard, I guess. So it was getting pretty windy outside and the birds were going nuts. So I decided to step into the unit, so hopefully it'll help cut out some of that sound. How would one even go about making something like this? This is crazy looking. I'm sure it's more of an optical illusion what's going on with this. And maybe you can't tell as well through the camera, but this is kind of wild looking. It's like a glass casting inside this glass cube. All right, what else do we have? It looks like we got a bunch of decor items in here. That is kind of a wild disclaimer for a plate. For decorative purposes only, not for food. Use may poison food. Original accent since 1880. Absolutely no clue of the value there though. Bunch of stilettos in there, but they're all kind of tiny. I'll look at those in a minute. That is really cool. Little Santa Claus ornament. There's a little music box inside of there. Surprised it still works, but I do need to make sure that this stays safe because I actually think that may be worth a little bit of money. And then we've got, cool, a glass little clock right there. I don't know what kind of value that has, but pretty cool. And then a bunch of these stilettos in here. It looks like that's where you like, I think can hold like rings and stuff. Can you imagine putting your foot in something like that? Talk about hammer toes. But there's a bunch of these wooden stilettos in here. That one's marked the mall at Green Hills. I don't know if these are some sort of collectible item or something. Your feet would be in shambles after just trying to put these bad boys on. So I'm assuming these are just some sort of collectible item. Maybe they're worth something. I have no clue. Oh, and then there is this glass slipper. Maybe that has some value right there, but not a bad box right there. Wow, that's heavy. No wonder that's so heavy. That's just a big box of lag bolts in here. Looks like there's another box of those hex head cap screws. That's kind of cool. Little glass Florida collectible. Oh, another one of those stilettos. That one's a bottle opener. That's pretty funny right there. Little glass mouse right there with a very springy tail. Here's a 4-piece water dispenser right here. I might be able to get like $5 to $10 for that. And then here's a couple things that are still in the box. Dehumidification moisture absorber. There's a blower motor. There's a pretty nice vintage mirror. Sometimes these vintage mirrors can be worth a little bit of money. And I'll probably have to clean it off before I list it to sell. It is awfully dusty and there's some stuff on the mirror, but overall, that's actually in really good shape. Like I said earlier, there's so much hair everywhere in these units. Literally, I find at least a hair piece per unit. It's unbelievable. Am I the only one with real hair left in this world? It's crazy. Also, if you're buying extensions from China, you're probably better off with the hair you already have. And then what's in here? Oh, we almost had a mirror down right there. There's a box full of paper gowns. Just sell those in bulk. Let me put this box up here and we can go through this one. And here's a pretty old lamp. Not sure where the shades are for these. Without the shades, I don't know how resellable any of these lamps will be. This is a knockoff Lego set of a bouquet. This isn't one of the most ironic pieces I've ever seen. It looks like it's shipped straight from China from either Alibaba or whatever that new website is, like Temu or whatever it's called. But it is an XL dog collar with the American flag on it. Boy, the irony is dripping off this dog collar. And that's it for this big box. All right, and then we've got whatever decorative piece that metal thing is. Kind of an odd looking thing. Maybe it's something for your garden or something. And then we've got this bag. What kind of bag is this? This looks like a golf bag. Nice. Pretty decent looking travel golf bag. To keep your club safe either on a road trip or on a flight. That should be resellable right there. Nice. Ooh, we do have something cool right here. Looks like some sort of Tennessee sign underneath that tabletop and then that box. I'm excited to see what it is. This is actually really cool. Look at that sign right there. That is awesome. This looks like a custom Tennessee sign. Pretty well made. Don't exactly know where we would put it in our house. Otherwise, I think I would keep it, but this actually should bring in a little bit of money. All right, let's see what's inside this box right here. A bunch of stuff wrapped up. What is this? It's just something for like a candle or something. It does say Royal Limited Crystal right there. I honestly do not know much about crystal and the value there. Kind of looks like the same stuff right there. Kind of a fun floral glass cup right there. All right, this just seems to be a bunch of glassware and plates and stuff. And I don't really want to go through it right now on camera. If I did miss anything that has some value, obviously I'll add it in, but I'll look through this once I get done cleaning up this unit. All right, what is inside this box? That is like a commercial grade printer in there. Boy, that thing is heavy. The thing's gonna be a lot of fun to move. Probably not gonna be worth a whole lot. Then we have about 1,000 Christmas tree stands. Not exactly sure why you need that many, but I am gonna be a Christmas tree stand dealer come next winter. All right, I finally made it to the back of the unit, and boy, I went through box after box of a bunch of junk, plus a bunch of like family photos and stuff that I'll leave behind for the storage unit facility to get those in the right hands. But here is another box. Here's a baseball. Official ball, National League. That is an autograph, but boy, is that faded. I cannot make out who that is. I'll have to look this up whenever I get home and can get some better lighting on that. And honestly, that's a fairly new ball too, for it to be that faded. Oh, we got a little box in here. Did y'all just hear that? We may have something here. It does sound like there's change in here. Is that a change bag? No. More pictures that I'll leave behind. All right, and the excitement for that rattle was just about all for none. There's just maybe a couple dollars in change right there. All right, and that was it for that box. What is this? That'd be sweet if I could find some more baseball cards in here. That is Pete Rose. That is like some sort of like box topper or something of his. I don't know if I've ever seen that card before. Pretty cool. One of these old like saucer plates that I think are porcelain. What is in here? One of those old like collectible spoons right there. And then some jewelry. I can't exactly tell if it's real or not, but once I get it home, I will check and let y'all know. I'm definitely not holding my breath, but if some of this is real, it could be worth a little bit of money. Like if those diamonds are real and this little bird pen, that'll be worth a little bit of money. But I'll examine those over a little bit better once I get home and let y'all know. Ooh, here's another card. The Pete Rose official set, and then a bunch of old pictures that honestly look like from maybe like the 30s or 40s down there. I won't show off those, but this is pretty cool. The 336 Airborne Squadron, November 1st, 1944. I want to take care of this as much as possible. As you can see, it's already in rough condition. This is a really cool historic piece, kind of on the back end of World War II, whenever America started to dominate and take over the war. And like I said, there's a ton of older pictures down here that I'm not going to show off, but very unique. All right, here's the last item we'll go through here in the unit. I got to get busy and start really cleaning out this unit, but let's go ahead and open this very old filing box. How do you open these old ones up again? It'd be smarter than the box. Oh, there we go. Whew, I finally got it. What is all this? Uh-oh, what do we have in here? Oh, we got some Benadryl and then some jewelry. That's just a keychain right there. Here's several pieces of jewelry. Oh boy, if that is a real diamond, I think I just found the most expensive single item we've ever found. I don't know for sure, but I'll get it tested to see if it is real. My original inclination is that it's not, but boy, there are a lot of imperfections in it for it to not be real. And then there's the other. That's a pretty cool ring right there. There are several rings in here. Nice as well. And this ring still has a little tag on it. It says genuine sapphire ring. Some sort of like black sapphire. It's a nice sapphire ring right there. And then another one right there. And then there's this cat necklace right there. But who knows? Maybe some of that is worth something. I'll have to check it out once I get back home. All right, unfortunately, the rest of this file box appears to be just a bunch of old bills and documents. Like I said, if I find anything else in this unit that is worth showing off to you guys, we will show it off right now. But if I didn't, that is too bad. But I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. We'll see you next time. Stay radical.